Welcome to the deep dive. If you're someone who really loves getting the inside scoop on exciting new fantasy or, romance reads, then you are definitely in the right place. We've taken a really close look at the Amazon page for Devney Perry's upcoming Shield Sparrows, specifically that Deluxe Limited Edition hardcover.
Right.
And our mission today, basically, is to pull out the bits that are genuinely interesting, the stuff that gives you a real feel for whether this book should be on your radar.
Yeah, without making you wade through absolutely everything.
Exactly. All the little details. We want you to get that sense efficiently.
Think of it as your shortcut to being in the know. We're focusing on what makes this book and this particular edition, well, noteworthy.
Especially if you're into discovering, like, a potential new favorite in romantasy.
And this one's already got some serious buzz building around it.
Okay, so let's dive right in then. The core concept. They're calling Shield Sparrows a slow burn, high-stakes romantasy.
That phrase definitely paints a picture.
It does, doesn't it? Like, you expect that big fantasy world building, maybe some magic.
Right, the high stakes, kingdoms on the line, that kind of thing.
But then the slow burn signals that the romance is, really central. It's going to develop gradually.
Yeah, hopefully with a big emotional payoff. It's not just a subplot.
And it's interesting, they explicitly say it's perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros.
That's a huge tell. It sets expectations immediately. If you've read A Court of Thorns and Roses or Fourth Wing.
Right, you kind of know the territory they're aiming for. Strong female leads, probably pretty complex.
Yep, central to the plot, woven in with these big romantic arcs, all inside these, immersive, often dangerous fantasy worlds.
It's a clear signal for who this book is for.
Definitely.
Okay, let's get into the plot hook itself. It sounds dramatic.
So the setup is gods sent monsters to the five kingdoms. Mortals basically forced to kneel to submit.
And our main character, the protagonist, she's a princess. Her whole life is about obedience, wearing the crown.
But not actually ruling or fighting, just fulfilling that expected role.
A sort of gilded cage situation, maybe?
Seems like it. But then, obviously, something has to change. The description mentions a fateful day. It involves a legendary monster hunter.
Oh, okay.
And a prince. Sounds like this throws her entire world into, well, chaos.
Right, the catalyst moment that shatters her reality.
Exactly.
And that leads to her being forced on a journey. Right, across treacherous lands.
And get this, with a warrior who apparently despises her.
Okay. And the feeling's mutual, it seems.
Bound together, heading towards some future she doesn't want, like a marriage she didn't choose.
So definite enemies to lovers vibes there. Plus forced proximity in a dangerous setting. Classic combo.
It really is, and you can see why it works, right? That built-in conflict, the tension.
Yeah, and the potential for them to, have to rely on each other and maybe see past their initial hate.
Exactly. Allows for that slow reveal of who they really are underneath it all. It can be super compelling.
The description also throws out these really pointed questions.
Yeah, I saw those. Like, what if she refuses this path?
What if being underestimated is actually where her power lies?
And what if she reaches for her own power?
It really pulls you into her headspace, doesn't it? Suggests a big transformation arc.
Totally. It signals the core themes. Agency, challenging expectations.
Finding strength where you least expect it makes you wonder what kind of power she'll find.
Yeah, it promises some real character depth, not just plot.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly. The Deluxe Limited Edition part. This isn't just any old book.
No, definitely not. They're making a point of saying it's a limited first print run, specifically US and Canada.
That instantly adds that, collectible factor. Why do you think these editions are so popular right now?
Well, exclusivity is a big driver, I think. For serious fans, owning a first print, especially a deluxe one, it feels special.
Like a tangible connection to the release.
Exactly. And, it's something not everyone will have. Plus, they give the release date May 6th, 2025, so people can jump on the pre-order if they want this specific version.
And the physical details they list, it sounds substantial.
Yeah, hardcover, 528 pages. That's a decent chunk of book.
And the dimensions, 6.35 by 1.55 by 9.25 inches. Weight's over 1.5 pounds.
So that's got some real heft. It sounds like a quality object, not just, a flimsy paperback.
Which appeals to people who really value the physical book.
Absolutely. And they even give the ISBNs, both the 10 and the 13.
Which is super helpful for tracking it down or making sure you're ordering the right thing.
It shows they know their audience includes collectors who care about those specifics. It's about that premium feel.
Now the buzz. It's already pretty significant for a book releasing next year.
Right. It's listed as the #1 new release in epic fantasy on Amazon right now. That's big.
But the thing that really made me sit up was the film news.
Oh, yeah. Amazon MGM Studios developing it into a feature film. That's
Yeah.
quite something this early on.
And Derek Kolstad is attached to write the script, the John Wick guy.
Yeah. I mean, what does that signal to you?
Well, it signals massive confidence in the story's potential, right? To get a film deal before release.
And Kolstad's involvement suggests they see potential for, like, strong action, compelling characters, real cinematic scope.
Definitely. That kind of news alone can generate a ton of excitement.
For sure. And then you have the editorial reviews.
Oh, they are glowing. Like Gianna Darling calling it the best fantasy romance I've read in years.
Praising the lush world building and epic love story.
Kay Tucker mentions a riveting world, smoldering romance. Says she burned through it.
C.E. Ritchie just calls it addictive. Simple but effective.
And Shinora Williams highlights refreshing and empowering characters, the simmering slow burn. These aren't just polite blurbs.
No, they're strong endorsements from names people in the genre recognize and trust. That's powerful social proof.
It suggests the book really delivers on those key romantasy elements people look for.
Right. Compelling world, engaging characters, satisfying romance. It seems to be hitting those marks according to them.
But it's not just the authors. The early reader comments are popping up too.
Yeah, I saw some of those. Things like, I freaking loved this book.
Best fantasy romance I've read in years. That one echoes Gianna Darling.
And that one comment, the ending of this book truly shook me.
Right. That makes you lean in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
It really does. Those raw, unfiltered reactions, they suggest a really powerful, memorable read. It makes it feel authentic.
Yeah, that kind of genuine excitement is contagious for potential readers.
Definitely.
So let's talk about the author for a sec. Devney Perry. She's got credentials, right? Wall Street Journal,
Yeah.
USA Today, #1 Amazon bestseller.
Yep, not a newcomer. She knows how to write books that sell and connect with readers.
What's interesting, though, is her background. A lot of her previous stuff is contemporary romance set in, like, Montana.
Right, which is quite a jump to epic romantasy.
It shows some real versatility, I think. Suggests she can handle different genres, different worlds.
Yeah, it shows creative range, and apparently she used to work in tech before becoming a writer.
Huh. Interesting career switch. Shows the passion, I guess.
Seems like it.
Something else on the Amazon page? Those related items sections? Frequently bought together? Customers also viewed?
Ah, yeah, I noticed that. Lots of other Deluxe Limited Edition type books, right?
Exactly. Things like For Whom the Bell Tolls, One Dark Window, The Never List, Fallen Gods.
Silver Elite. Yeah, it shows there's a real market for these kinds of special editions in this genre space.
It tells you who they see as the audience for this book. People who appreciate those collectible physical editions.
Yeah, it puts Shield Sparrows right in the mix with other popular titles targeting that same reader, someone who likes fantasy romance and nice hardcovers.
And the rankings are interesting, too. It's hitting high spots across a few different but related categories.
Like #15 in epic fantasy, #16 in romantic fantasy, #31 in fantasy romance, last I checked.
Yeah. Which kind of underlines that it appeals to slightly different niches within that broader fantasy romance readership.
Right. Whether you lean more towards the epic scope or the central romance, it seems to be drawing interest. Signals broad appeal within its sphere.
And of course, while we've been focusing on this fancy hardcover,
Good point.
it's worth remembering there will be Kindle and audiobook versions too.
Right, so it's accessible however you prefer to read. The deluxe edition is the collectible highlight, but the story is available widely.
So, okay, bringing it all together, if someone's listening and thinking, should I check this out? What are the absolute key takeaways from this deep dive?
Okay, first, highly anticipated romantasy, proven author, blending epic fantasy with that slow burn, high stakes romance.
Right. Second,
the early buzz is really positive.
Yeah.
Strong reviews from authors, enthusiastic reader comments already.
third.
Third,
Mm-hmm.
that deluxe limited edition hardcover. Big appeal for collectors, first print run, quality physical object. And fourth, the film adaptation already being developed by Amazon MGM with a big name writer attached. That adds a whole other layer of excitement.
Yeah, definitely. So, for you listening, hoping for that quick but thorough download, we hope this gave you a really solid sense of Shield Sparrows.
Hopefully you got that aha moment about whether this might be your next big read.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. The story is about this princess expected to just obey, right?
Mm-hmm. But it hints she might break free. find her own power.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, in your own life?
Yeah.
Are there places where you might be, I don't know, underestimating yourself?
Or maybe just sticking to expectations that don't really fit anymore.
Yeah. And what kind of untapped power might be waiting if you decided to, well, push back a little, defy those limits?
Something to think about. What path might you forge?